Hi guys, Ali here with the Active Escapes crew in the beautiful Maldives, teaching yoga for the week. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to show you a nice little flow that you can do once you've been traveling. So especially if you're going to a really far away destination like the Maldives, which is far away from most people in this world, you get really tight in the chest, the hip flexors, the hamstrings. So I want to focus on really opening up those areas and getting your body into better shape to help enjoy your holiday. So please grab your mats and just follow along and enjoy the class. Thanks.
So once you have your mat, slowly come down into child's pose. We're going to start out in this position, hips heavy down to the heels, forehead rested, extending those fingertips out nice and long. I want you to start to focus on your breathing. And imagine on every inhale your back rib cage expanding. Every exhale, allow the chest and belly to melt down in between the thighs. And keep breathing deeply here, letting the forehead rest, no tension in the neck or shoulders. Big inhale breath through the back rib cage, expand the inhale even further. And exhaling, letting everything go. We're going to slowly move into our first position, coming into cat-cow. So finding your way into a tabletop position. Your wrists are going to be directly underneath shoulders, knees under hips. As you inhale, look forward, lengthen the spine, tailbone lifts. And as you exhale, round the spine completely, belly button all the way to spine. Inhaling, flowing in your own time, lengthening crown of the head away from the tailbone. And as you exhale, look through towards the navel, round the spine, round the lower spine. As you inhale, find length. And as you exhale, press the palms into the ground. Try and create more space between the shoulder blades, really massaging the spine here. Just waking up the body after you've done a long flight. Trying to get into the core muscles a little bit more here. We're going to come into bird dog, right arm forward, left leg reaches back, and then exhale, use your lower abdominals to come all the way in with the knee. Inhale, try and lengthen from fingertips to toes, and exhale, use the belly button, pull it in close as you pull the knee to chest. Inhale, lengthen, nice long spine, staying stable through the shoulders and hips. Exhale, hug everything in nice and close. Big inhale, breath, lengthen. Last time, hug it in as close as you can. Exaggerate the exhale. This time as you inhale, reach all the way back for the foot behind you, finding your sunbird. Gently kick back into the hand as the hand slightly pulls forward, opening up through the chest, through the shoulder. And then on your exhale breath, slowly releasing from there, coming back down through center, dropping the arch of the back foot to the back of the mat and opening into your side plank variation. One long straight line from fingertips all the way down to the heel. Big breath in through the side body and then find your way back into tabletop position. We're going to take it to the other side. So left arm reaches forward this time, right leg back. And exhale, hug everything in nice and close. Use the abdominals. As you inhale, try and stabilize through the shoulders and hip. Nothing moves. And exhaling, using the abdominals to hug everything in first. One long straight line, fingertips to toes. Exhale, hug everything in. Nose to knee. One last time, reaching forward and back, and then see if you can catch a hold of the foot behind you, slightly kicking into the hand pulling back, opening through the chest. Big breath in. Take the opportunity while your chest is wide open here. When you're ready, exhaling, coming back down, dropping the arch of the foot to the back of the mat, and again opening up into that side plank variation, really opening through the rib cage. Don't let gravity sink you down into that bottom shoulder. Try and lift through the rib cage. One big breath. And then exhaling, slowly finding your way back to tabletop position. One last cat-cow, rebalance the spine. And then we're going to come a little deeper into the chest now. So finding our way into puppy pose, crawling those fingertips forward, but hips stay directly above the knees. You're going to melt the heart down. If you have the flexibility, you can lift the chin. Otherwise, just let the forehead rest to the ground. Without flaring through the rib cage, try and melt the chest closer to the ground on every exhale. pointing those hips towards the sky. And then we're going to slowly transition into Sphinx Pose. So all you're going to do is drop the hips, lift the chest, forearms stay where they are, widen through the collarbones, take a big breath in, and exhaling it all out. Coming into one of my favorite stretches to help loosen the back and open the chest. Left arm comes out to the side, fingertips in line with the shoulder, right toes point towards the sky, and then roll the hips open so the toes touch the ground behind you. Make sure you're resting the head, relax the neck and shoulders. And to go a little deeper, you can press the fingertips firmly into the ground. Coming out of the posture exactly the same way as you came in, rolling the hips around first. Coming back into Sphinx Pose, elbows underneath shoulders, just rock the hips side to side, rebalance the spine. We're going to take it straight to the other side. Right fingertips in line with the right shoulder, left toes towards the sky, rolling the hips open, toes reach towards the ground. You should feel a nice release through the lower back as you do this. Maybe a few little clicks and creaks, but nothing painful at all. Allow the head to rest, so no extra tension in the neck. Stay soft with the breath. And then again, coming back the same exact way as you came into the pose. Forearms underneath the shoulders. Pressing back into puppy pose. Tuck the toes underneath. And slowly start to crawl those hands back to meet your knees. Start to bring some weight back into the heels, starting to open up and stretch out the feet. Pressing the left heel of the hand towards the ground, drop that shoulder, and then inhale, right hand towards the sky, trying to reach for the opposite ear, allowing the weight of the arm to gently stretch the neck without putting any extra pressure. Breathing deeply here, and then slowly change to the other side. Right heel of the hand down, left hand sweeps towards the sky, reaching towards the right ear, and then gently using the arm as a weight to stretch and open up through the neck. After flying for a long time, sometimes you can get really tight through the neck and shoulders. Slowly release from there. Release the hands down to the ground. Keep those toes tucked and then send the hips towards the sky, coming into a ragdoll. Grabbing opposite elbows, just let the upper body feel as heavy as possible, crown reaching towards the ground. And just sway side to side here. Release the fingertips, sway side to side, and then start to bend one leg at a time, sending that hip backwards. As you bend one leg, straighten the other. Should feel really nice for the lower back. This time sweep the right hand towards the sky as you start to straighten up through the right leg. Nice open twist here, pulling that right hip back, feeling the stretch on the lower back. As you exhale, release the hand behind your back, reaching for the crease between your waist and your thigh. Open up through the shoulder a little bit more, and then slowly come down on your exhale. Switching straight away on the inhale to the other side, left hand towards the sky. Pulling left hip back, straighten up through that leg and feel the outer hip start to stretch. Taking that top hand behind the back, try and look for that crease between the waistline and the thigh. Open through the shoulder a little more, and then gently release back down to center. Take an inhale, look forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold and start to crawl your way out into a downward dog. Taking the time here, just pedal out those feet again, feeling the backs of the legs, feeling the calves, and really grounding down through the hands. Spread the palms super wide, digging them down as if you're trying to dig your hands into sand, pushing down and away from you as you send the hips back. Try and lengthen up through the waist as you gently melt the chest down. Keeping those hands firmly to the ground, we're going to take a big inhale, send the right leg towards the sky. And then working through the core, bring the knee close to the ground and then sweep it up towards the nose. Reaching back, squeeze the glute, and then use the lower abdominals, squeeze the knee towards the ground, lift to the nose. Again, reach it back, nice long leg, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, knee to chest. One more inhale, reach up, and then this time as you exhale, step it all the way in between the hands. Drop the back knee and foot. Inhale, find your crescent lunge, reach towards the sky, gently drop the hips down. Tuck the tailbone under, squeeze through the left glute a little bit more to help open up through the hip flexor. As you exhale, release the hands behind the back, interlock fingers, and open up through the chest a little deeper. This is one of the best poses you can do. After flying, you're opening up through the hip flexor and the chest at the same time. Breathe it in here. And then as you exhale, slowly release the fingertips down. Send the hips backwards and toes towards the sky, so getting into your hamstrings a little bit deeper. Working with your breath here as you inhale, try and find a nice long spine. And as you exhale, gently fold into the pose a little further. We're going to come into a nice open twist once again. Lift left fingertips to the ground, right fingertips towards the sky, keeping the right toes pointing towards the sky. Pulling that right hip back, opening through the chest. And exhale, releasing down back to center. Rebend that front leg, stepping it back into a plank position. And then slowly finding your way down and onto the belly. Coming into Locust Pose, again, interlock fingers behind the back, working through the back postural muscles here. So squeezing through the shoulder blades, trying to lift the chest up, engage the core, pressing the belly into the ground as you try and lift a little higher on the in-breath. Exhale, release the hands down to the ground, pressing your way back into downward dog. Release from here. Taking it to the other side, our left leg sweeps towards the sky, glute engaged. Exhale, knee towards the ground, lift it to the nose. Inhale, reach back, nice and strong, straight leg. Exhale, bend the knee, knee to nose. Inhale again, reach it all the way towards the sky. Exhale, scoop the knee from the ground to the nose. Last time, reach it up, all the way, stepping all the way through this time. Dropping the back knee, opening the chest towards the sky, finding your Crescent Lunge. Again, dropping the hips slightly down, but engaging through the core and slightly tucking the belly button. Protect the lower back. Big inhale, breath, reach up a little higher, and then exhale, interlock fingers behind the back. Again, opening up through the chest here. Gently sinking a little bit more on the exhale. Really breathe in, enjoy this nice opening. And then exhale, release the hands to the lower back before touching the ground. Sending hips backwards, toes towards the sky, starting to get deeper into the hamstrings. Again, follow your breathing pattern here. Your inhale helps to lengthen the spine through the crown of the head, chest proud, and then as you exhale, you fold into that space you're creating. Last exhale here to go a little bit deeper. Right fingertips stay down, left fingertips twist towards the sky, pulling the left hip back, getting that outer hip and thigh stretch. Maybe even feeling it in the lower back. Breathing deeply into the chest here, and then as you exhale, finding your way back to center, stepping it back once again into plank and lowering it down onto the belly. Interlocking fingers behind the back, coming into full locust this time, so lifting the legs as well as the upper body. Squeeze the inner thighs together, toes should be touching. And then exhale, slowly release down. Pressing it back into downward dog, just rocking the hips a little bit side to side here, releasing from that pose that you've just done. We're going to start working more on our side body now. So inhale, right leg towards the sky. This time, bend the knee. Try and rotate the hips open so the knee reaches towards the sky, foot towards the opposite butt cheek. And then as you exhale, keeping that knee bent, square the hips, and you're going to drop the knee directly underneath the hip. Coming into that side plank variation you started with at the beginning of the class, but this time holding it for a little bit longer, opening through that top rib cage. On your in-breath, you're going to come back through center, use your abdominals to help reach up. Go right hand towards the sky, lifting as if someone's pulling your fingertips towards the sky as you gently pulling it over. A nice side body stretch here. As you exhale, fingertips towards the ground, coming it back through center, find your way into downward dog. Taking it to the other side, left leg towards the sky, bend the knee, rotate that hip open. Foot reaching towards the opposite butt cheek as the knee lifts towards the sky, keeping those shoulders square to the ground as best you can. Slowly come back through center, keeping that knee bent. You're going to drop that knee directly underneath the hip, stacking those joints and opening up into your side plank variation. One long straight line from fingertips all the way down to the edge of the foot, opening through that top rib cage. Keep lifting towards the sky. Big in-breath going to bring you up through center. And exhaling, finding your full gate pose, taking that side bend to the opposite way. Imagine you're lifting up and over rather than crunching through the opposite side body. Exhale, release those fingertips all the way to the ground. Find your way into downward dog. Pedaling those feet, rocking the hips a few times. And then you're going to lift the heels, bend the knees, look straight ahead, take a big step to the top of the mat. Taking an inhale breath, lengthen the spine, look forward, and exhale, folding a little bit deeper. This time taking a big breath, sweeping the arms all the way up towards the sky, reaching up tall, and exhale, release the hands through heart center. We're going to come into a little bit of a balance, so squeezing the left leg in, right leg stays grounded. Try and bring the heel of the foot somewhere along the inside of that right leg, just not pressing against the knee, so foot can stay on the thigh or the calf. Start to lift up through the palms, reaching towards the sky, finding your focus point and working with your balance here. This is a great pose to feel really grounded after you've been traveling for a long time. Release the knee, pointing it forward, and then we're going to take a big step back into our warrior two. So our hips still stay open to the long edge of your mat. Your wrists should be in line with your ankles. Nice wide stance. Gently bending through that front leg, you should be able to see the big toe on the inside of the knee. Keeping the legs where they are, we're going to come into reverse warrior, sliding the arm down the back thigh, opening up through the front body as you reach away. One breath here, and then exhale, finding center, straighten up the front leg. Inhale, reach forward first before exhaling, coming into your full triangle posture. Keeping fingertips in line with each other, shoulders are in line, as if you're in between two panes of glass. Taking an inhale to reach all the way up towards the sky. Start to turn the feet slightly in, heels slightly out, coming into our wide-legged forward fold. Allowing the weight to shift towards the toes, creating more space for your hamstrings to stretch. Just allow the head to feel heavy, nice long neck. And then slowly walking the hands back to center, so wrists underneath shoulders. You're going to place your left hand in between your legs and spin the right fingertips towards the sky, a little twist as you inhale. As you exhale, come back to center, switch to the other side, opening up as you twist, big breath in. And your exhale to bring you back through center. You're going to crawl the hands now all the way to the top of your mat, coming into a lizard lunge. So your hands should be on the inside of your foot, but wrist directly underneath shoulders. Okay, finding a position that works for you, holding it here a little bit more, getting a bit deeper into the hip flexor. You can drop to the elbows and you can drop to that back knee as well if you like. Noticing your breath here. Try and relax and stay calm. Let your body know it's okay to be here in this position. If you're on your elbows, start to walk back to your palms. And then step the back foot nice and wide to the top of the mat. So hands come to your heart center, elbows gently pressing those knees apart. Walk the feet out as wide as you need to keep the heels down. Inhale, reach the right hand out, left fingertips start to twist and open towards the sky. Big breath in here as you open up into a nice little twist, and then exhale, come back to center. Left hand out, right fingertips towards the sky, big breath in. Pressing the back of the tricep to the inside of the knee, and then exhale, slowly come back to center. Find your way into a forward fold as you exhale. And then big inhale breath sweeps you all the way up towards the sky, reaching up nice and tall, and then exhale, driving those hands through heart center. Taking our tree pose to the other side, hug that right knee in, and then finding a position for that foot on the inside of the left leg, either on the inner thigh or the calf, just not pressing on the knee. Find your focus point, stay really grounded here. After you've been flying, it's really common to not have a lot of balance. So this is a great posture to help bring your body back into balance. And then releasing from here, you're going to take a big step to the back of the mat, back foot about 90 degrees as the front foot stays pointing forward. Find your foundation here in your warrior two, sinking those hips down slightly but keeping the tailbone tucked under. Create as much space in your environment as you can. Inhale, reverse the warrior, reach back, open up through the front ribs, just one breath, and then exhale, coming back through center, straighten up the front leg. Inhale, find length through the side body first. As you exhale, come down into your triangle posture. Again, fingertips in line with each other, shoulders are in line. Keeping the fingertips nice and active as they help to reach towards the sky, lifting up. Inhale, breath, reach up towards the sky, coming out of the posture. This time as you come into your forward fold, interlock fingers behind the back, and then slowly leading from the chest, exhale to the ground. Allow that head to feel super heavy, release the neck. You can shake your head left and right. Try and let gravity take hold of the arms here. If this is too much for your shoulders, you can just let your hands rest to the ground. Releasing the hands to the lower back first before finding the ground. And then twisting your way into your lizard lunge to the top of the mat. So heel toe your feet, finding the hands underneath shoulders, the foot just outside the hands. And finding whatever position works for you on the other side. So maybe come down onto the elbows, or you can always drop that back knee to make it a little bit easier as well. And then use the time here to focus on your breathing, slowing down the exhale. And noticing if one side feels a little bit tighter than the other. Walking those hands back up underneath the shoulders. This time we're stepping it back into downward dog. We've opened up our hip flexors and hamstrings. We're going to work more into our glutes, but first, inhale the right leg towards the sky, bend the knee, open up that hip. This time flipping it all the way into our wild thing, a nice beautiful front body stretch. Just one breath, and then exhale, come back through center, squaring the hips first before finding your way into pigeon posture. Allowing those hips to stay grounded, square to the top of the mat. Before you exhale, slowly come back down. Allow the upper back to feel super heavy and try and relax the entire body here, really working in the outer hip area. Maybe even exhale for an extra couple of seconds and just watch the body melt a little bit deeper into the posture. Staying relaxed through all the muscles in the face, especially the jaw. Last breath here. And then slowly crawling those hands up when you're ready. You're just going to roll over to that right hip, swinging the left leg all the way to the top of the mat, creating that tree shape with the legs before coming into our head to knee pose, folding forward over that straight leg. Again, using your breath here, every inhale, try and find length in the spine. And then as you exhale, you fold a little bit deeper over that straight leg. Keep both hips grounded as you twist the shoulders towards the ground and feel that beautiful stretch on the lower back. Use your in-breath to come out of the posture, exhaling, grounding the right hand underneath the shoulder. Inhale, just one breath, opening right up into a baby wild thing pose, and then exhale, slow motion, come back down to center. Stepping right leg over left, reaching left arm towards the sky and then hooking it onto the outside of the thigh, coming into a twist. Keeping the chest proud, chin lifted, spine nice and tall, and using your exhale to gently twist a little bit further. Slowly inhale, come out of it, and then exhale, just a little counter twist to the other side, one breath. Crossing at the ankles, rolling forward, find your way into downward dog. We're going to take the sequence to the other side. Inhale, left leg towards the sky, bend the knee, open up the hips. If you like, come all the way into wild thing. Drop that foot towards the ground, opening up the entire front body. Make sure your wrist is stacking under the shoulder. Exhaling to come back to center. Square those hips first before dropping that left knee behind the left wrist, finding your way into Pigeon Pose. Slide that back leg away from you, squaring out the hips, and then exhaling to come all the way down with the upper body. Relax the forehead. Relax the entire body here, trying to get all the work happening in the outer hip area. Release any muscles that are tight in the neck and shoulders. Really relaxing the breath here. Just taking one more full breath cycle in your own time, going a little bit deeper as you exhale. And then when you're ready, you're going to start to crawl those hands all the way back up to center, rolling over towards that left hip now, swinging right leg to the front, coming into that tree-shaped leg for head to knee pose. Inhale, reach towards the sky, little twist towards that right leg, and then exhale, folding the upper body as far along the leg as you can. Grabbing the ankle, the calf, whatever you can reach. Every inhale helps to grow that spine a little bit longer, and every exhale helps to deepen into the posture. This time as you come out of it, on your in-breath, your left hand is going to reach all the way up towards the sky and then ground underneath the shoulder behind you. Inhale, sweep the opposite arm all the way up and over, finding your baby wild thing pose, just one breath up. In slow motion, exhales coming down. Stepping the left leg over the right, left hand behind the back, right hand reaches high, coming into that twist. Using the arm behind you to help grow a second spine, keeping the spine super tall, lifting through the crown of the head, and exhale, twisting a little bit further. On your in-breath, coming back through center, exhaling, just taking a little counter twist to rebalance out the spine. Find your way back to center, soles of the feet together now. Coming into Baddha Konasana, grabbing the outsides of the feet, keeping the spine super tall here, shoulders away from the ears, and then exhale, use a little bit of arm strength to help fold the body forward. You can gently rest the elbows on the inner thighs or maybe in front of the shins to help pull the spine forward a little bit more. But make sure your both hips are grounded. As you fold forward, it's easy for our hips to start to lift, so keeping them down as you try and lengthen through the spine. Inhaling, coming back to center. All you're going to do is press the feet slightly further away, creating more of a diamond shape. Threading the arms underneath that little gap. And this time trying to round the spine completely. So let the head go, let the neck go. Just completely round the spine. This is a great posture if you ever have trouble sleeping. Not only are the forward folds connected to your parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and repair side of the body, but you're sort of shutting out the world around you here. You can hear the sound of your breath a little deeper. Slowly coming out of the posture, just scoot the hips forward. We're going to come all the way down onto our back. Once you hit the ground, hug both knees into the chest. We're going to set ourselves up for a shoulder stand, a nice easy inversion. So pointing the feet towards the sky, try and lift the hips, toes come slightly over towards the head, and then grabbing the lower back for support as you try and reach the toes towards the sky, keeping them in line with your hips. If you ever suffer from swollen ankles or swollen feet on planes, this is a great one to help relieve that. So being upside down, you're letting all the lymphatic fluid drain from the legs and feet. This is probably the first pose I do after flying for a long time. Keeping your breath cycles nice and fluid here, staying relaxed. Last breath. When you're ready to come out, just bend the knees towards the forehead and then rolling down the spine. See if you can come super slow, one vertebrae at a time. So we're just going to come into a nice counterbalance for this pose into our fish pose. So Bringing the arms underneath the back, you're going to press the elbows into the ground to help lift the chest. Your arms do need to start straight to be able to come into this posture. And then exhale, release the head down, taking the arms out from underneath the back and hugging the knees towards the chest. Hugging them in super close, lift the forehead to meet the knees, round the spine completely. And then coming into your final relaxation pose into Savasana. So releasing the arms down by your sides, relax the head, let the ankles roll open a little wider than hip width apart. And just feel the back of the body resting into the ground beneath you, feeling all those heavy parts connected to the ground. And on every exhale, try and relax a little bit deeper into those parts. So the ground is there to catch you. You're not going anywhere. There's no reason to hold any extra tension. So every exhale, just try and let a little piece go at a time. And then just take a notice of the front body, feeling the space around you, feeling the freedom. You've been cooped up in a plane for a long time, so just make the most of laying here. Make the most of the space around you. Just staying here for another few moments, letting the body stay completely relaxed. Start to bring your awareness back into your body and breathing, starting to create some small movements in your fingers and your toes, rolling out the ankles, the wrists, taking a big inhale breath as you extend the arms up overhead, lengthening out the entire body here one more time. Bending your knees, rolling over towards the right side, just resting for an extra breath here. Just gently waking up the body and then slowly pressing your way back up to a seated position. Keeping a nice long spine and just sitting here for a moment with the appreciation of your body, the appreciation of how it's feeling, and the appreciation of everything you already have in your life. Bringing the hands together at heart center for Namaste.